So programming in general, it's essentially, we need to begin with the end in mind. So what is it that we're trying to create? So if you're trying to send someone to the Olympics for rowing, programming is going to look a little bit different than if we're trying to send someone to the Olympics for weightlifting. So what we have to understand is, let's start off with this group understanding. The way we're talking about this is what we're trying to create is fitness. Now, fitness, it helps if you define it, is work capacity across broad time and modal domains. Okay, let's just kind of boil that down to like work capacity. It makes it so much easier. If you just talk about like work capacity, like ability to do work, that's really what we're trying to do. And through our programming, we want to have some of these other fundamental understandings that we're all on the same page. And once we agree, it's kind of like I'm just like laying the foundation of like, we have to agree upon these things, and then we can get to the next ones. And that is that we need to work with functional movements. And now functional movements have been really, the term has been bastardized because even the Bosu ball and the shake weight are functional movements. But what functional movements are is the movements that produce the greatest amount of power. That's what they do. They produce more power. You get more power out of a pull-up than you do out of a bicep curl. Power is force times distance divided by time. So that's what we need. We need to program to elicit the most power that we can. From there, it gets into this idea of dosage. And it's not just intensity. Intensity is one of the variables that has to be interspliced appropriately to make sure that we have the right, and it's kind of like different pies. Like as intensity goes up, the other things have to come down. And the other ones are volume, duration, intensity, obviously. There's a few things that kind of go with that. So total balls out everything you have intensity is not the answer. But either is just massively super high levels of volume. That's not the answer. There has to be this kind of nice blend in between the two. And let's take like an example of, we used Olympic rowing, so let's stick with that. So we know the way Olympic rowers train. And what they don't do is they don't go and just do a bunch of 2K rows, which would be the super high intensity. They actually don't even do, if they lower the volume down so much to bring the intensity up even higher, they don't do like one 500-meter row. What they do is they do this thing that's been really popularized. What they do is HIIT, high intensity interval training. And what they'll do is either overload it, and they'll do something like 3 by 2K at a sub game pace, or they'll go above game day pace and they'll do something like 8 by 750, with a minute rest or something like that, at faster than, or whatever it is, or at game pace or threshold, or they'll go below and they'll do a bunch of 200s with big rest, depending on their strengths, their weaknesses, where they're on the training cycle, and so on. The big take-home message there is, even if, this is for like the weightlifting crew, even if you had somebody who's trying to break the world record for the 500-meter row, they wouldn't just do 500-meter rows, balls out everything they got. They would bring it down a little bit, intensity, and get more doses. So we need the doses. So this is kind of the lead-in talk to, as much as we love the high-intensity world of CrossFit, you doing one 500-meter row for time is not effective programming. It's just not. You doing Fran, if you're really good at Fran, and you're doing it in 2 minutes and 15 seconds, is not good programming. It's not enough of a dose, and it's too high of an intensity for you to get the response that we're looking for. Use the way those guys train. If you're trying to go for a 5, even like the 1 rep guys that train for 1 rep deadlifts, they don't train by doing 1 rep deadlifts. They do sets and reps. They essentially do interval training, but with weights. They need the dosage. So as much as we love the short, high intensity stuff, it's not the secret sauce. The secret sauce is getting the right dosage. And what we've done is we've swung the way people compete and used competitions. It's why Castro doesn't call them workouts. He calls them events.
Yeah.
Right. It's because it's not a good workout. You doing one 400 meter sprint is not a good workout. You doing 8 200s with a 1 minute rest is a great workout. But if you program that, that's the next thing, no one's going to show up. We have to get this nice blend between the physical responses that are happening and the psychological expectations that people have of the workout. Case in point today, we did really bad programming at our gym. We did a Tabata toe bar. Tabata toe bar is really bad programming. The Tabata protocol is a phenomenal protocol, but it's been destroyed by our community to where they created Tabata this workout, which is 4 different movements. Now the whole thing lasts 24 minutes. I don't even know, 32, whatever, how long it lasts. Tabata was created so that you would have this perfect blend of volume and intensity. It's a great training response, but it has to be done with maximal or just submaximal intensities for 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest. So if we do toe bar, which by the way, we did it for lowest score. So if you're going to go for a low score, which is why this is what part of the secret sauce is. All of these little nuancy things, and here's one of them, the way you score workouts has a massive impact on the stimulus of that workout. Mm-hmm. So if we take a protocol like Tabata, which is a great protocol, 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off, 8 times through 4 minutes of work. It's a really good, basically it's like perfect thresholdy thing of sustained super high power. But if we do it with toes to bar and your score is lowest score, what's the smartest way to do that to maximize your score? Because remember, there's a psychological effect. If you put a leaderboard to it, and you should, because it will drive higher results and work output, then they're going to game it for that. And they should. So the way I did it is I gamed it. So for the first rounds, I only did 10 seconds of work and I got 7. Mm-hmm. And I was able to hold that across all the rounds, except for the very last one, I was only able to get 6. Mm. I did not get a workout at all. Mm-hmm. That was our workout of the day, but we did not get a workout. It's not that the toe to bar movement is wrong. It's a functional movement pattern. It's not that the Tabata protocol is wrong. It's a great protocol. But there's this secret sauce of understanding how to blend the implements. And when you understand how to blend the implements, that's what drives the results. So let's take another example of a workout that we did really poorly last week. Last week, we did a workout that was wall walks and box jump overs. The protocol movements are great. Wall walks are a great movement. Phenomenal. They show up in the games. Great test. Box jump overs, great movement. Amazing. The protocol that we used is this dope, amazing protocol that just like you can't not work hard. It's phenomenal. So I'm going to tell the protocol the way we've used it in other ways. And the workout that we usually use this for is 2K row. Mm-hmm. Guys row 2K, girls row 1600. But every minute on the minutes, you do ascending burpees. So 3, 2, 1, go, do 1 burpee, jump on the rower and get as many meters as you can in the remaining part of that minute. At the turn of the next minute, do 2 burpees. Then jump on and get as many calories, as many meters you can. And the workout's over when you accomplish the 2,000 meter row. If you half-ass it, you never finish. You literally, you'll still be on it today, right now. You will. So it's this amazing protocol that just drives this incredible intensity. We use it with our games. We use that exact specific workout. We do with burpees, erg burpees over the rower with our games athlete when we need to turn up the notch, like early in the games training season, where it's like, it's go time. Because you have to go. We do it at our training camps because you have to go. You can use it with your athletes for somebody that likes to sandbag workouts because they have to go. Okay, so we tried that with wall walks and box jump overs. So the protocol's great. The movements are great. But it doesn't work. This is the secret sauce. You have to understand that what we're actually programming for, this is it. What you are programming for is horsepower. You need to program for horsepower. Now, the reason that works so well, horsepower is, again, force times distance times total reps. That's what people miss when they do this formula. Times total reps divided by the total time. Mm-hmm. Now, when you do that, it will force you into these incredibly high-powered functional movements. It will. Because if you do it with bicep curls, you're not getting the same response as you do with kipping pull-ups. If you do it with tempo squats, you will not get the same response as you do it with wall balls. It's the way it works. But when you, so let's go back to that program of wall. So the workout was 15 wall walks. Mm-hmm. Every minute on the minute, do four box jump overs. The movements aren't bad. The protocol's not bad, but they don't match up. Because if you're going to go and try to smash the wall walks, you can only go so fast. Now, with our athletes, we don't allow them to do rebounding box jumpers because of the stress on the Achilles. So you can only do box jump overs so fast. Unlike burpees and rowing. Burpees and rowing have this exponential. So as you lean into it, it goes harder and harder and harder. What you're doing is you're putting imaginary caps on those movements. So if we have imaginary caps on those movements, you don't want to do it when one of the protocols that it forces this incredible intensity. You want to do it one that elicits a nice, smooth, longer intensity, like an AMRAP. So what happens is when we do this workout of wall walks, 15 wall walks every minute on the minute, 4 burpees, you're done when you get the wall walks, is the people that are really good at the wall walks. I'm not really good at wall walks, but I finished the workout in 1 minute and 52 seconds. And when I was done, there's no workout. That was not a workout at all.
Yeah. Yep.
We have other athletes, we had a 10-minute cap on it. They were finishing around the 8 minutes or so like that. Now they're getting smashed from that because it's taking them forever. They're going so slow and I'm getting nothing out of it. So what was the desired stimulus? It was missed because people went in this huge divergent path. Now, what we could have done is just when there's a movement like wall walks that is so divergent. Some people are really good at handstand walking, handstand push-ups, muscle-ups. Those type of things should not be set up with the big divergence, the big standard deviations off the mean in terms of average time. Those ones do really well for AMRAPs. So if we had changed that workout, we want the same, we decide that those are the movements we want, but just simply changed it to 4 wall walks, 4 box jump overs, AMRAP 8, where we have it. Like the people that are good at wall walks are going to get tons of wall walks. The people that aren't good at it aren't going to get as many. Everyone gets the same, essentially, stimulus. And that's what we have to understand is that when we're programming the workouts, this is the secret sauce. When you're programming for workouts, we want to understand what the desired stimulus is. And always, that desired stimulus, always with an asterisk, most of the time, that desired stimulus is to maximize your horsepower, average horsepower, force times distance divided by time. That is why certain workouts like Fran are so beneficial, like Helen are so beneficial. It's the workouts that are on the fringe of like all of this thresholdy type stuff. And then what we do is we back in, and we've created a chart that explains this. I can talk about this next if you want to, of making sure that the movements, the loads, and the reps all match up appropriately so that you are getting the right horsepower out of that workout.